Okay, now I'm going to talk to you about lean construction. And at the end of it, I also talk about how to bring this into your site, how to implement true lean construction. Okay, the idea is reducing waste and making your plan reliable. Now, these are all my research. Actually, I've been doing lean construction, started in the 80, I came back 89 for my PhD, and then I did a sabbatical 97, and since then I've been doing lean. All right, that's when it was born in America. All right, around that time. So I've been doing that, and so this is a software actually developed some years back. Then I work on artificial intelligence and all. Lately, I'm working on construction automation. So later, maybe if those are interested, we can talk about what construction automation that we have done. Okay. So the thing that we're going to look at is integrated lean project delivery. Okay. So now we're going to go through why go lean. All right. Then some lean methodology, and then we're going to look at implementing lean in projects. Okay. And looking at an overview of Lean Plan Do, that's the software that we have, and managing this change. Okay, so we're going to manage the change in the company to adopt this new mindset. All right. So why go lean? And one of the things is that we know that projects are typically delayed. And if you look at it from the data, it's 75% of projects are delayed. Okay, and 50% experience serious delays. And I don't know where your projects are falling under which category, but typically this is a situation. And I want to just say that LD, pretty high. I've handled one which is 167,000 a day. So in the end, actually, they would have got the building free if they have, you could have got the building free from the delays actually, but they negotiated with an outcome. Then the overhead costs per day for a contractor easily 300, 400, even $500,000. So now if you have a methodology that can pull back 1 month or 2 months even, you're going to save $1 million easily. All right, so this is where I'm proposing the value to you all. The other thing is that even from the owner, each month, if it's $100 million loan at 5%, it will be $420,000 a month if there's a delay. So it's still a lot of opportunity cost from delays. So that's why a good, reliable planning method is important to be able to bring back value to the project. So all the fats that you put in, you actually have budgeted it, but this could be transformed or made into profits by a proper planning method. So it's worthwhile to invest in a lean project delivery system. What we have actually is a broken planning system right now, the state of the art in the industry. What do I mean by that? First, it's a situation awareness gap. Really, what is on the plan, on the site, on the chart, doesn't reflect what is actually on ground. So this is a situation awareness gap because of the dynamic nature of site. So what we need is collaboration and visibility. And this is where we need a software, a system, a platform to be able to provide this collaboration of different stakeholders and visibility. Second is what I call a realism gap. There is what we call a phase planning methodology. We have a plan, we should do this, and we push this schedule. So we have a push schedule mentality. So I'm going to show you a video. Lucy Ball, who knows Lucy Ball? This is Lucy Ball. You're too young. I'm 68. So those days I watched this. Okay. So anyway, watch this. You're fired. I hope you all understand the idea. When we push a schedule, not knowing the capacity of the downstream, this is what we're going to get, a disarrayed schedule. Plans are all in disarray. And the other thing is that we don't have a feedback. They cover all the tracks, okay? So push, you will get this. What we need is a Kanban pool methodology, and which we will talk about this in the lean construction method. And we have a pool mechanism that will bring about reliable planning for the site. The other one we have is bottlenecks. This bottlenecks is because of flow variability. Now, what do I mean by that? So I come up with this example. Just passing bins from buffer to buffer of different workers. Now, one is the red line. Everybody can work at the same uniform rate all the time. This one has more variability, and this is the worst variability. So what will happen is that you can see that performance with the worst one is 54% delay, right? Without any variability, everybody moves smoothly like a manufacturing, and you got 0% delay. So the more variability is in the system, the more the delays. And that's why your crane operation is always has a bottleneck because of variability in the demand for the supply. So that's a very important queuing problem mathematically. So now, what still is, when this variability increase, you have significant bottleneck. That was only one trade. In construction, you have all the trades coming in. Everyone has variability. This will grow and compound. So that's where the problem is. Can we bring in the idea, can we invest in reliable planning so that you have reliable, smooth production like a factory? This is where we want to go, all right? So, reliable planning, we can achieve Hejunka. Hejunka is smooth production. And this is where I'm trying to help the industry to transform in that way. Okay? What are these numbers? Just nice. These numbers are beautiful. 10% increase in profits to your subcontractors if you adopt lean methodology. 20% increase in profits to the main con. We have 30% increase in productivity. We have 25% reduction in cycle time. We have increased plant reliability, 40 to 60%. Some of these numbers we experience, some of these numbers are from research. Now, this is a project that we had. Actual productivity went up 30%. This is another one, which is a jetty construction done in the beginning years, 27% increase in actual productivity. So it is possible. What does World Economic Forum say? And this is done by, if I'm not mistaken, BCG, and it says this: large productivity improvements can be achieved by optimizing existing processes, the broader use of lean principles and methods. For instance, could reduce completion times by 30% and cut costs by up to 15%. So we are looking at those types of numbers, a dramatic, radical improvement in project performance just by focusing on process transformation. All right? It is not technology, but process transformation. We have seen this. These are the usual methods to handle, to manage our productivity, variability, and so on. Do they really add value? What happens is that they don't address the key issues. They cost money to implement, but they don't address the underlying issues, which I'm going to delve in. So now we go to the lean methodologies. What is that? There's tech planning, there's last planner. So this is a mindset that will add value called tech planning, which I'm not going to focus on this, all right? I want to focus on this other one, which is the last planner system, which will bring about what I call Hejunka, smooth production. Now, when I do this, actually, if I teach, it would take about 3 days, 4 days to teach. So I just want to just go through this very quickly, the LPS system. How do we deliver that in our platform? So, okay, just an essence of tech planning. If these are what we call non-value adding, these are value adding, the way to address the reduction of cycle time is not to focus on this. You're only optimizing a very little. But if we reduce the non-value add, you bring a lot of change cycle time. I give you an example, lifting. I have a technology now called Intelligent Lifting Frame by Genios. Okay, I'm the CEO of Genios, and we can increase productivity because we have 6 degrees of freedom on that frame. It's auto levels and so on. So just first cut, save 20 minutes of time just to do auto leveling of the modules, because we don't use chain block. We use technology, we got auto level. With all this advance that we have, if we still have to wait for the arrival, we can waste 20 minutes, half an hour, just like that. So all the gains in the value of technology will be lost if we don't transform our process. So this is why tech planning is to be able to reduce these losses in waste. All right? Now, the essence of the last planner system. If we have a schedule like this, and there are constraints, all right? If I show a green, it's resolved. If I show a yellow, it's unresolved. If this constraint is unresolved, this activity cannot be executed, all these will be affected. And that's where you begin to have disarray in your schedule, in your plan. So the way to do it is manage the constraints. So what we're going to do is, there are 3 types of things that we try to capture in our system to give you the underlying reason to your project performance. Number 1, is the activity technically ready? So what do? We have to track all the authority approvals, design approvals, procurement, and many others that is talking about the technically readiness of your activity. Second, we talk about site readiness. And that's where we talk about safety, site preparation, manpower, and any other things that we want to monitor here. Now, the last one is your motivation, commitment. That one can fall, because if you have this plan and they still can't perform, even though these 2 have been satisfied, because they lack commitment, that's where you will fall. So we have 3 ways of measuring what is happening on your site. And now, how does this fit into the whole planning system of LPS? So we need to resolve all this, all right? So what we have is this, fitting the constraints in the last planner system. In our method, and our platform is this. This is the look ahead. This is your original plan. What we need to do at this stage is we break down the activity into doable steps or tasks. Break down the activity so we can measure bite size. This is what we call should do. We should do this, but we have to make sure that it is technically ready. Then we will have what we call a shielded plan. This plan can be done, technically ready to do. Then we make sure in the next stage, before we let out the work, we want to make sure that site readiness is there. So once we have this, means we will do this. Then this is given to the site, and this is then what we did. And the performance will go up if this commitment is in place. So what we do now, we want to measure. We get the data analytics to reveal. So we have a should do, and then we have a can do, remember? A will do, because everything is ready. And then finally, what is did? Now, if we have 100 here, 70 here, 63 activities done here, 58 done here, we will be able to measure the KPIs of your site. And this is what we do now. This is what we have, a constraint resolution level. You look, 100, you need to drop to 70. 30 activities have been knocked out of the plan because it has not been resolved. No one expedited, it will be unresolved. So even though the site readiness, 63 divided by 70 is 90%, even though the commitment is 92%, the overall performance is only 58%. That's the point. So the whole thing about the platform that we have, we can measure where the site is falling behind. Looking at this now, there's no point trying to chase the commitment of the workers. They are there. Your subcon is ready. What is problem? Technical readiness. It means somebody in your company is not following through the technical readiness. Approvals are not done. Right? So now what we have here is our system is able to pick up who is falling behind. We log that in every week. So if it's constraint readiness, what we do is this: consultant, you have not given us the approval. Because of this, you see the behind, we log that in. That becomes your reasons for EOT. All right, so that's how we do it. Now, how do we implement? I'm going to give you an overview of Lean Plan Do. Now, one big challenge, IDD disconnect. Actually, IDD disconnect is an oxymoron. IDD means what? Integrated Digital Delivery. What do we realize on site? Is DDD. What is that? Your plan broken, though, and your digital workflows are not connected. They are silo. We do all our workflows independent of the plan because they are not linked together. And that's why I call it Digital Delivery Disconnect, DDD. What we want to move to is IDD, which will require the integration of your workflows from your system, with your system. So if your activity needs to get going, it should generate a workflow automatically. If this is delayed, it should inform your plan automatically. Then you can take the action. They cannot be disconnected. So we have this platform. Lean Plan Do project is on the web, or we can use the mobile. We have mobile with the Lean Plan Do flow. That's your workflow. All the workflow that you want to create can be done. It's customizable very easily. You can develop it yourself. We will help you. Then after that, you can customize it further. Some companies, they charge you arms and legs to make changes. It's all given to you, the ability to make changes that you want. Even a fine change, they charge you arms and legs. You don't want to get ransomed by these people. We allow that. So this is Lean Plan Do with the Lean Plan Do flow. Lean Plan Do, so we have all these Lean Plan Do site on your mobile. What to be done in that week? Every subcontractor can come in and say, I need to do this. They can feedback how much has been done. Then the lean plan do flow tells them what is still outstanding. We have insights. They give you that KPIs and the critical path and all the things that is necessary. We have reports that will take from this system. We don't have to scurry around various sources, WhatsApp, everything to put in there. It's all contained in the system. Even your correspondence, your messages are all kept in the system. If you use a system, you cannot do WhatsApp, you cannot pull there. Then if you need BIM, we can do the BIM too. So this is the lean to plan do from site all the way to management. We have various collaboration platforms to allow you to do that. This is where your project team, site project team, and the management can see it on the dashboard. Nothing now is hidden. What is problem with Primavera and MS Project? You can change your progress anytime. Even 1 month later, hey, we need to change this. They can change it. This is all locked into the system so that if you use this with the owner, you can tell them we'll record everything. Now you can go back and say, this is the EOT. With your staff, if you are the owner of the company, contractor, you want to know what your guys are doing, it will also capture that information, okay? So this is how the thing looks like. And this is the workflow. For this, I'm doing the DFMA or the PBVC, right? You can capture everywhere in your DFMA cycle, and it will inform what is the potential delay alert there, up there just now. Okay, it will tell you if there's somebody who is sitting back on the approval. So this is the PBVC process, we got it, and it all triggers by one button. After that, all the various forms are linked together. You don't have to take out form after form. It will come in automatically. This is how powerful our flow documentation is. You don't have to trigger one by one. It is automatically triggered. So even if you have other processes that needs that triggering by itself, you can actually make it happen. So these are the forms. You can customize. That's where the signing and everything you can do, right? This is you can apply template to do it, to do your breakdown. You don't have to do it individually. If you have a pattern, just bring it in. It will distribute the activities according to the amount of work. That's the template. And then finally, you have the dashboard. So where do we go? There's going to be organizational change. We are no more doing blame games in the meeting, but we are doing collaboration and commitment. We are no more doing reactive mindset because we actively plan through the look ahead and expediting the constraints. So we will have no muda, means no waste, no more waiting. Heijunka, smooth production. Kaizen, because we have the feedback from your KPIs, we will be able to know what is happening on site. And we have Horenzo. What is that? Anytime, anywhere, in real time, you can have information. All right? So we have a transformation of different stakeholders. Everyone will benefit from the use of this. The licensing is unlimited number of users. Okay? So how do we implement change? Resistance to change because staff, workers are afraid of transparency. I've seen that. They still want to change. They still want to keep, all right? Management's view of project indices. We don't use a punitive method. We use a improvement mindset. Must change from the owner, from the boss of the company. We must look at it that way. More information, more scope for making better decisions, not punitive. You are that. I'm going to sack you. You're finished. Nobody wants to give transparency. So this is a culture change that must be implemented. How to implement? We have to have a strong supporter. Each of you can be a supporter of Lean. I can make you strong supporter. I believe in it. When I was there in my sabbatical, 1997, and I love it. Commitment to plan, follow through the planning process, and we will have hand-holding sessions to make sure that you can go on the road. All right, these are various projects that we have done, 90 over projects already. And biggest one was the Punggol district, digital district there. We have 28,000 activities to handle. It can handle. So what is the problem? The problem is that the industry is running on a broken planning system. Tried methods do not address the key issues. There is a IDD disconnect that results in workflow and project plan silos. So the solution, integrated Lean project delivery. Lean Plan Do can bring you minimize waste, deliver reliable plan, and improves project performance. And these are all the things, 28% time saved in troubleshooting. We have 10 times time saved in the construction duration. We can pull back 10%, all right? These are other use, other purpose. This is very important, root cause detection. Now I want to show you one last point before you go away. I want to show you this competition. This is hot dog eating competition. The number of hot dogs you can eat in 12 minutes. How many can you eat? One. 12 minutes. 12 minutes. 12 minutes. 5. Okay. All right. Look at the way they do. Before there's a hot dog jump. All right. This was the number 20. 20 is the average that the winner. 5 times more than you. 4 times more than you. But after the hot dog jump, it can go up to 50 and above. There is a transformation. Why? And this is the transformation I want you to bear in mind. How? Who won? I won't show you this figure if you don't think that this is the guy who won, the small guy. It's not a big guy. So it's not a big guy who can do well. It's a small guy because he has a method change. And this is what happens. Oops. Can you louder? Okay, come on, you can hear. Like a conveyor belt. What does he do? He separate, break, dunk, eat, and shake. Okay. He changed the method of eating. This is just to show you that he cannot beat the beast. Because he's not a beast. He's a human being. He can't beat him. Right? So he lost. So he's still a human. It's fine. The companies are human. The point is conveyor belt. Change the way we eat. All right? It's not to stomach one more than your competitor. You cannot compete on that level. You will be cutting throats. You're cutting prices. It doesn't work. So the way to do it is, don't do it from this point. Have a lean thinking. How to eat one hot dog faster from the way of doing that activity itself. So the same is the way that you're going to start your planning. Now, I showed the last video because a small guy can beat a big guy. You want to be more competitive? It's the change in your mindset to switch, transition to lean. So this is where I want to offer you the idea of lean plan do that integrates both workflow and planning. And it actually reveals the problems and you manage it by having reliable plan. So that's the end. I hope you understand. Thank you.